Hello and welcome everyone to the First Circuit Podcast, episode number 17.
Yay!
Today we have a lot of our usual suspects. I'm standing here with me, Biter, Blarg. We also have with us Aethermech on the phone, I think.
Hello.
We also have Alash.
Hey everyone, I just killed a whole Little Caesar's pizza and a half a bottle of wine, so we're gonna see how this goes.
And a not abused old bulb by Commander Lemming.
Oh, that was funny, actually. I do want some pizza. Damn you, Larsh.
I don't know, I'm so full as it is.
Oh, God, that sounds
And
so good.
today we are going to cover the MechWarrior 5 trailer, as well as MechCon coming up.
Woo!
And I think some event calendar and daily events on MechWarrior Online.
Yep.
So, anyone want to start their thoughts on MechWarrior 5 first alpha footage trailer, I think?
Well, I guess to begin with, who here has seen the trailer?
I
Well, I
have.
guess the footage. I know I have.
Well,
I have.
okay, first, before anything, we
I
got to
watched
say...
about-
Sorry, go ahead, man.
I watched about 15 to 20 seconds of it, and I started bouncing around throughout the video, and then I kind of gave up.
We got to say this is pre-alpha, so any criticisms we do have, they are based off this and not with the final product. So just so everyone know about that.
Yes.
But
Well, I guess.
yeah, go ahead.
I guess I'll do my part, and I'll just bring it up on my screen. So go ahead and go talking. I'll go ahead and I'll bring it up.
Well,
All right. So my first impressions are at least, it's it's a little rough around the edges for sure, but I think obviously being able to make use, I think it's CryEngine. It looks kind of CryEngine-y.
the CryEngine, yeah.
The much newer, much updated CryEngine is very nice. Like the environments, particularly, look a lot better than like MechWarrior Online.
They look amazing.
Yes, exactly. So I think this is totally the chance for them to start using and pioneering new tech. Like when it starts up, there's a lot more stuff with lighting and sound effects and all that. So yeah, it is off to a fairly good start, but I would also have my criticisms with its sort of its roughness and also the roughness of the presentation.
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the user interface definitely needs some work, though. Basically, this is based off of, from 1997 when they used to have MechWarrior, like the first ones. This is like kind of what that user face looks like. Basically like on the game, especially something flashy like this, they should have something like a really beautiful looking cockpit and like different UI screens and all that kind of stuff. This is 25. 30, 25, 28, somewhere around there, Fourth Succession War, should have something that looks at least, a little bit better than what, 1997 graphics are.
The UI is, it's minimal. So I don't know if that's their main choice for the style or if they're going to update it.
I hope not.
Yeah, they've gone fairly minimalistic with the UI, and like everything on the HUD is this uniform green color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like nothing necessarily jumps out to you, like the heat bar. The heat doesn't necessarily build up that much. Like
yeah, I noticed that too.
Yeah, I actually, I think, just looking at it, it is actually fairly crisp. Like the actual, because what they're doing, instead of that uniform paper doll for every single mech, they're actually got the outline of every single component of the mech. And yeah, I personally don't mind it. It's just, for me, it would be a matter of utility. And possible immersion that is an issue with the UI. Like I don't necessarily share those all those complaints. Like yeah.
Oh yeah, and actually, by looking over the video, he said that they have the outline of every single component. I still see the old school just paper doll in game.
For the Shadowhawk, it very much looks like the standard paper doll. However, that is Shadowhawk shaped. But when you get to something that's very weird, like the catapult, the paper doll it's like a catapult, and its quote unquote side torsos is actually sort of around the outside of the center from the front view.
Yeah.
Okay, I got that. That's
actually
interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, though it also means it's kind of awkward seeing how damaged its side torsos are.
One thing I
It's
was
very
going to add.
pretty,
Oh,
but
go
it's
ahead.
kind of jumbled. I was just gonna say it's very pretty, but it's jumbled and kind of wonky looking.
Yeah. Just like I said, 1997 graphics based off the old Mercenaries game. One thing I wanted to add to the user interface of what they can do a 3D image of a map, because I know if you watch the sci-fi shows that are on right now, basically a lot of them they have a 3D map or kind of like a UI HUD that comes up from the console instead of just a flat 2D map. Make it like a 3D map. Be kind of nice to have where kind of like in space they have those for certain games. Just be neat. Just flashy is what they need, basically.
Yeah, I would say totally in terms of utility, the current
Yeah.
map is really not up to scratch. It's sort of, I wonder how they do these maps, but it reminds me of the old days when I played Thunder Brigade, and it's a voxel
I know.
map, so it's just sort of like, I don't know, like you turn on a night vision goggles and look down from above, but only from a very close up distance, so it doesn't tell you anything about the nearby terrain, and they've kind of got these wispy red triangles and bits and bobs all over the place that just, it's really sort of hard to tell anything from that map. It's not really useful.
Yeah, true. Like I know basically from 3028 they didn't really have too much tech per se, so I can understand if they bring it down a little bit as far as flashiness. Actually think about it just now, actually, but yeah, just the UIs need some work. The like I said, or you said actually, Biter, the terrain looks absolutely freaking amazing. I'm so happy about that. Looks great. The destructive detail looks amazing. I'm very happy about when you hit, clip the side of a building, it shows the internal structure of the building. I think that was really cool.
Yeah, and I'm actually watching right now, and there was one small part that Bob is that the person in the Shadowhawk shot at a flag of House Liao, and the flag caught fire.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
And the flag keeps smoldering. I think that's a really nice little small nod to detail.
Little details like that make it.
Like you can imagine his supervisor over his shoulder saying, "Shoot the flag! We've done the flag!"
Oh god, yeah. But just a little tiny detail in a game actually makes it. Like Fallout 4, when you have your radio on your Pip-Boy going, and then also a radio that's actually inside the shop you're at or something like that, you can notice the sound effects about where the radio is, the right or left hand speaker. Little details like that actually make a game. And same thing with MechWarrior 5. They put a ton of details into the game. Be great, and that's what makes a really good game no matter what.
Yeah, I would say, in terms of the environments, it looks fairly good. They're making sure to make everything sort of destructible, which makes sense if you've got this big giant stompy robot. I like that they do at least the decals on the ground that, when you shoot AC5 by accident into there because, you're a great pilot. It leaves a nice big giant crater. And the only thing I would say about these particular skyscraper rebuilding things, and it's sort of my own little issue sometimes with CryEngine, is they're covered with lots of glass and they're all really shiny and it's a bit too uniform. If you have a giant wall of glass in front of you and Cry, it doesn't necessarily look the bestest because obviously to some degree not actual skyscrapers don't necessarily always look like, I don't know, perfect glass shards up into the sky. There's that glass is transparent. It's not perfectly reflective like this stuff.
Now, granted, this might be because I haven't been reading a whole lot, but I thought they weren't doing CryEngine for this game.
Yeah, I could have swore it was Unreal 5.
That's what I
be
thought.
Unreal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind then.
I'm no expert on the on engines, so to be
that's
fair.
what Ian's for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because Ian, who sadly cannot be here, he's a huge fanboy of this game. We were hoping he could be here, but he can't. But
he's also much more in the know about game development stuff.
Yes, than we are. So, but we're gonna keep going. But yeah, I could have swore. Now, granted, we all have Google. I could do right now, but lazy. But I could have swore they said that this was gonna be
Unreal
not on CryEngine. It has to be on Unreal.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess to me, either one's like, okay, cool, it's on that one. Just make it good. That's all I care about. But
Well, it's definitely pretty. There's lots
oh
of
yeah.
room for them to improve, but hopefully they make it functional and pretty.
You know,
Because
there's a couple things that I wanted to go ahead and like stress. Granted, this is alpha stage, so this is just my own criticism of the game and how I am. But the when you look back on the dropship, it should have had more decals, basically, as far as like maybe like death from above or like their own personal thing, like of the house unit that they were from or the mercenary group that they were from, you know, something like that. The you know, like, including actually the city itself could have been a little bit better as far as decals I guess, you know, basically as far as putting details like billboards or like, you know, advertisements or the whatever basically of a normal city, because this just looks like a freaking like a, I don't know what the hell it looks like, to tell you the truth. The
like
tank,
DMZ
It's
Detroit.
kind of
yeah,
it looks corporate in a way,
yeah,
like
yeah,
corporate
yeah.
skyscrapers.
But even corporate skyscrapers, they'll have some type of like, you know, piece out in front that, you know, some showpiece or something, you know, just like whatever. Put more
Yeah.
detail like into that, you know.
Well, they might be getting to that soon. I would hope.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, true.
obviously, the thing with any alpha gameplay or whatever is that you get the whole production team to sort of rush together one kind of pitch for your game, because you don't necessarily have all the bits and pieces that you wish you could have
Yeah,
together. You know, you don't do level A, then level B, then level C. No,
you just pop stuff out.
you obviously you make building and then you put that into the auto level generator into level A, B, C, D, whatever. You know,
Oh yeah,
there's
yeah. Let's just say
uh,
for criticism for later on. How's that? You know, basically.
yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think. Yeah, I don't mind them having not showing very particular stuff like that, because yeah, a thing like this is going to be very much sort of thrown together. I mean, there's little nitpicks or things that could be just kind of be funny to point out. Like, you know, he comes out of the dropship, he looks back, and the dropship's just full of rotating, flashing. I think was it. Red lights, and it's just like that. You're going a bit over the top with the red lights, but yes, it's kind of pretty inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think for a pre-game beta, this looks
Oh yeah.
good.
Oh yeah, it
looks
does look good. Don't get me
very
wrong.
good. Mhm.
Just I think the you know, like, I guess I'm like the type of person where like I, you know, like I used to play test a bunch of stuff, and the sounds is what also makes a game too. And if you looked at the laser or the medium laser that he had, didn't really, I could barely even tell he even shot that thing. You know, it doesn't really
Yeah.
have like anything like, you know,
Oh, the
Haven.
visual.
Yeah, the visual plus also the sound itself. Sounds what really makes a game no matter what. And the visual for the laser just was like, okay, I guess he shot a laser. That's kind of cool. But
Yeah,
sorry, go
I
ahead.
think they're going for the visual effect of, you know, like if you have a laser beam and smoke,
Yeah,
you can only see sort of bits of it when it actually hits smoke particles, but it doesn't always. And
yeah,
they're sort of doing that. Obviously, it's not actually in smoke, but they're trying to give it a quote unquote realistic look. But I would say, yeah, it doesn't, like, even in MechWarrior Online, when you fire a laser, it makes a big, huge noise so that you know you're actually firing it. And you know, lasers are quite hot and supposed to be quite powerful weapons. You know,
Yeah.
that laser is as powerful as his autocannon 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and actually in the chat we do have it is Reality Deviant saying that Russ did announce that it was going to be Unreal.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
Unreal. Okay.
Yeah, it's Unreal.
Okay.
All right. So the other things, I would say though, the other weapons though, the autocannon, the missiles,
Oh, yeah.
sort of flying out and hitting the target, it looks quite cathartic, at least when you've only got these 3 things he's using over and over again.
Cathartic.
Or just, you know, the slow moving and slow firing SRM projectiles, when they hit their target, have a real effect on target, along with the AC5, because at least with the tanks and aircraft, they're fairly squishy. So landing a few shots of them feels, you know, it's just like, haha, gotcha.
Yeah.
Whereas in MechWarrior Online, of course, if you hit someone with SRM2,
Yeah, I know.
haha, I've hit you with some paper mash. I've hit you some paper.
You know, spitwads,
Yeah,
basically.
Take my wet paper.
Hey, Reality, what's going on, man? Well, yeah, basically, I know the. What really concerned me though is he, you know, as a mercenary, even as a mercenary, would you go in with a Shadowhawk, a medium mech, a 55-ton mech, going in versus an Atlas 2 heavies, and 2 lights and untold numbers or legions of helicopters and tanks. I don't think anyone would do that.
I mean, granted, I think this is more of a test run of say, hey, this is what we can do. I would hope that in the real game that wouldn't be a thing.
I hope so, man. Even how squishy they are. I mean, come on. I mean, I would never. Oh, let's go attack the Atlas and the Jaeger mech and the catapult and 2 locusts and the untold legions of tanks and helicopters. No.
So
I would say,
advocate. I'm gonna say I hope it is like that, and there's just a ton of repair bays just scattered across the landscape.
I mean, yeah, it does. I would say this thing gives me very much the impression that it is them just sort of throwing a random guy onto it and him just running around and mucking about, and then them uploading this as the first 10 minutes of new gameplay.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, basically. But even if they have this as normal, though, I'll be concerned. My concerns will be heightened if they have this in the normal gameplay, though. Even in the BattleTech one. Sorry, go ahead.
I would say though, at least my concerns in some regards is that with marketing, it's really important they have the best first impressions.
Yeah.
And whilst they have limited means, you don't necessarily want to show somebody bucking about because you want to try and sell, particularly with the MechWarrior franchise. It's more about, or at least there's a much more simulation market you're trying to tap into. To that degree, you really wanted this guy to actually do the damn objective and not run around like a mindless pug.
That was my biggest thing. I was like, where's he going? And then on top of that,
I didn't know what the objective was, actually, to be true.
Yeah, and on top of that, people in the chat are also pointing out that if you actually watch the first half of the video, he actually has what's called the God mode enacted.
Yeah.
So he's actually not even taking damage until he turns it off when he's in the base. So yeah.
I mean, that's the sort of the thing, at least with the simulation side. Why are we starting it with 999 ammo? I mean, started with. I mean, the problem with the stock mech.
Don't ban us, Russ. Don't ban us.
It has 1 ton of ammo for each weapon, so obviously he would only actually fire that AC5 like maybe 30 times or 100 times, 100 shots of the SRM2.
How many shots do you have for the AC5 though? How many shots do you have?
Okay, he started 999 with everything.
Really?
Yeah, man. So I was going to say, like, this guy, he's got like a Larsh build, or at least Larsh would be quite happy. There's plenty of ammo.
I am very happy for all the shots I missed. I need to pad my ammo with the armor.
Oh my god.
But anyway, digress is that I think one of the main things about this game that's going to either break it or win it or save it is that essentially is the AI. I want to know how good the AI of this game is, because we're all used to MechWarrior Online. They're all live people, for better or worse. But yeah, I think that's going to be a huge factor.
Potato Atlas.
What's that?
Yeah, the AI was quite potato.
Yeah.
Super Potato Atlas.
I think of the game they're gonna make it better though, as far as they're not gonna throw the Escort Atlas into this game. If they do, that's gonna break it.
Well, maybe we'll just say he's on the easy mode. Maybe there's a hard mode where the AI ramps up.
Or just obviously it's takes a while to actually figure out how game balance and how to actually make the AI work properly in this game. So yeah, they are just running around like potatoes. Like he charges towards the catapult, which I think has like PPCs, and so the catapult just sort of turns and runs away and shows his back.
Yeah, I saw that too, actually. Did you see it at 3 minutes 36 seconds? The tank just flipped without even being shot at.
Yeah. That was my other. I mean, that's one of my things I'd say about polish is that you're trying to show off this. This is your first foot in the game. You got to show off this thing. You got to sell it to the simulation crowd. You got to sell it as a cool looking game, and it's just a guy mucking about, and there's a tank flipping over. And there's also in the city
a tank with climbing
helicopters struggle with colliding with the buildings.
Yeah,
and so there's like a collision in midair, and there's one lying upside down.
Yeah, a few of the objects are really funny. Also, on the count of 3, say hi, BrioS. 1, 2, 3.
Hey,
Hi,
BrioS.
BrioS. Okay.
But yeah, basically I also saw a tank that was climbing over some crates or whatever, or the big shipping containers. I'm like, that shouldn't be. But yeah, it does have some like issues. I mean, it definitely,
Yeah,
the Atlas should
it's
have
just.
annihilated that Shadowhawk, but yeah.
Oh, he was too busy just staring at a building. Like he
I
walked
saw that.
towards it,
What's like, what the
and
hell
just,
is he
Yeah.
doing?
and then he's like, I shouldn't be looking at this building. I'm going to turn around.
Exactly.
I mean, that's sort of the funny thing with this. Is like initial impressions is like, oh wow, the environment looks quite good. The AC5 and SRM2 looks kind of cathartic when you're blowing up all these small squishy targets.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun threading the needle on helicopters and all these things skittering about. But then when I look at it in more detail, I'm like, wait a minute, this guy has like 999 ammo. This guy's supposed to destroy a target, and he never pursues it. He just runs around in circles. And there's this tank. It's having a dance party, spinning around on the spot. It's
Yeah.
just sort of everything turns into a little bit of a joke, and that is not what you want when you're trying to, get people pumped for this game.
Yep. Well, like,
You want to put somebody in the driver's seat who sort of knows what they're doing, where they go around, they get the optional objective, they chase down the last target, and then they do a mad dash back to the dropship and escape. That would really, and they actually have ammo that they're trying to conserve. That
Yep.
would, that means if I'm really looking to get engaged by this game, I look at all the details and go, yeah, it's really interesting having, actually having limited ammo, where I'm going to take all this, I have to go after the objective. There's going to be an Atlas, there's going to be bigger mech coming after me. Like, at least for a simulationist crowd, I imagine there's a way better way you could sort of sell this first impression.
yeah,
And
just
that
like
is
you
at least,
said.
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
And
Finish.
that's just my concern, at least, that you always want to put your best foot forward with marketing. And obviously, yes, I understand the game itself doesn't need to be polished completely, but just decisions like who you put in that driver's seat and what they try to achieve, along with little details like ammo and such like that, you should try and make it as simulation-y and realistic as possible. Just you put your best foot forward at PGI.
Yeah, exactly. Like just like you said, marketing is one of the major things that PGI actually has not a good grasp on per se, and to put something like this out. Did you guys watch the old MechWarrior 5 thing with the Warhammer and the Atlas fighting each other like in the city streets?
Oh god, like how long ago was that?
Yeah, that was awesome. Basically, that was a
That was
great.
God, that was like
That was
how many years?
That was a long time ago. But
Yeah,
that footage right there was perfect. I was pumped. I mean, I was like, yeah, give me a freaking Warhammer. Let me go in and just kill things. I was pumped and so ready for it. This kind of footage, as a creator, Lars, that like when you look at, and like when you do your videos, look at the footage, do your edits, and then go through it again, and then go through it again, and then go through it again. And then you post it, like on a private, and then go through it again. Just make sure everything's okay. This kind of thing, like certain little details that Biter was, Biter and all of us were actually taking a look at. It's like first impressions are the main thing about this, and if they, being PGI who they are, I mean, they're a great company. Please don't ban us, Russ. Great company. But the whole thing is though that your marketing department just needs a lot of work. I mean, complete work. I'm not saying you're not the worst, but it's bad, and you got to put some stuff out that actually gets people pumped. Granted, people will be pumped about this game. They're going to have a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong, but certain details, the MechWarrior Online crowd is such a niche market, a niche group of people. We're all cool. We have great community people, nice people, great people. That you screw up in a couple times, they'll know about it, and they'll go to something else like BattleTech or something. You got to make sure this marketing gets done well, and a tank flipping over 336, helicopters crashing the buildings, showing your first parts of like, this is the greatest thing of the whole Hawaii planet. Do it good. Do it first, do it good the first time.
I would say that, in fairness, at least, I mean, we could be quite critical, and I always have to at least be critical because we're fans of MechWarrior Online, of PGI already. Like a lot of us are quite going to be eager about MechWarrior 5, even if they had the worst marketing ever.
Yeah.
I will say, even if they're just throwing it up raw like this,
well,
I
just
prefer
say
that
raw
than a
footage.
pre-rendered cinematic.
Yeah.
Because it gives you more of an idea of what to expect. Because I mean, granted, Bob, I will agree the old school pre-rendered cinematic was fantastic, but we all know that the actual gameplay would
Oh, of
never
course
look
not.
like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah, of course. But I know.
And from a technical standpoint, like I said, whilst there's a lot of little beans that we could pick, that obviously doesn't necessarily matter so much when it actually looks fairly feature complete, or at
Oh
least
yeah.
the build they've chucked together makes a lot of sense. This is actually a good pitch for the kind of things, the kind of environment you could play with. It moves around, it shoots fine, it
It
looks
moves well
look very
too.
nice. All the things die, and you have all these unique little, like some of these actually gone out and done all the little dolls for the different mechs that appeared, and of course all the helicopters and tanks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
just for me, I miss having that cooldown bar at the bottom right for all the weapons. I miss seeing at the top right what weapons mechs have. I feel that's I feel blind not knowing what people have, which actually has its own benefits. But I like being able to lock onto a mech and find out what they've got.
Well, like what I thought was you can't in the game itself you can't modify your mechs though. It has to be stock builds, or right?
I'm saying, like, when you're facing the catapult,
Oh, okay.
it just has the dull of the catapult. It doesn't say, 2 PPC, 2 medium laser, or whatever it is on that particular catapult.
Yeah, true.
And there's
true.
also some argument about how much of the mech lab's actually going to be there, about like whether or not you're going to be able to change anything, or you're just going to buy a completely different mech that's loaded different, or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it's gonna be good. I just, like we said, it's pre-alpha footage, so this is just kind of just us just criticizing what's out there and what could be better for later on. Just let everyone know about that. Don't ban us.
From a technical standpoint, this is a huge step up from MechWarrior Online.
Oh yeah.
And it looks very, very pretty. I like that.
It
looks like it could be. It has a lot of good fundamentals. The AC5 and SRMs, and some degree the medium laser. I think that needs some work, but for the most part, the shootingness looks quite nice. It looks like it could work quite well.
Yeah.
I just have little bones to pick with sometimes, little bits with the UI and little bit with the presentation. But I like the honesty rather than just sort of hiding everything behind closed doors and only giving us pre-rendered stuff.
Yeah. Also, the scenery is what really caught my eye. The first thing I looked at was the scenery. It's like, wow, that's great. And then then how the mech moves. It actually moves like a mech. Not like
it bobs.
Yeah, bobs, and that's what's really cool. Yeah, it bobs like Bob. So, so yeah, it's definitely nice, and I like that. It's good stuff, man. It's good stuff. So they did a good job. Good job. It just just like some things, I don't know. Anyways, I'll just shut up.
I would find it kind of hilarious if in the full release product, though I hope this isn't the case. You just run around like a maniac, and then all the tanks and helicopters are upside down.
So legions of tanks and helicopters upside down chasing. It's like,
all
holy
the
shit!
Enemy battle mechs have run into buildings just staring at you.
Or they get stuck on a log or something.
Yeah, the classic stand on top of a building and watch as the AI screws itself over technique.
Oh my god.
Oh, I hope not. But I guess because of time, it is around 8:30ish my time. Just to give a small heads up to our viewers, they are doing an actual No Guts, No Galaxy podcast live stream. Yeah, I know. And they're going to go over MechCon and possible more details about MechWarrior 5, maybe.
Pretty much over everything though, for next year. Probably like a roadmap as well.
So today was our first impression of it. So I think we could probably go safely 15 more minutes before we don't cut into their own time as well.
Yeah, definitely. You'll definitely want to do that. So what'd you guys think of the article that was written by Polygon? I think it is. You guys read it?
I didn't read it.
I didn't read it either, actually.
No.
Okay,
God,
so next thing we got to go on.
I'm not going to read something from Polygon.
What is this thing called a reading? I don't even watch things.
I have no idea what you're even talking about. So
supposed to have pictures like riffs, like the coalition, where they have pictures for everything. Okay, never mind. Bad joke. So okay, how about how about the new event then?
Yeah, the 12 days for Advent. For those of you who don't know, and if you log into MechWarrior Online, there's now a new daily event for free items.
I'll just my last thought on the MW5 thing.
Okay.
I was disappointed they didn't show the LRM5. It gave
Yeah.
more ammo, and I assume maybe they
Mhm.
just didn't have it by release. They hadn't figured out mechanics.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was kind of upset about that too. Because I want to go see that.
It would have given them one more weapon to spam.
Yeah,
Well,
and to just
I'm
waste more
wondering
ammo.
if what Weapon Group 4 didn't exist.
Okay.
Weapon
Yeah,
Group
but
4?
Weapon Group 4, you know, the LRM5.
Oh,
Number five.
Have a
okay,
button
yeah.
for it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
yes. Well, anyway, so moving on. So in game, for those of you who may have not logged in or have not seen online yet, there is a new 12-day Advent event. I don't think we need to spend a whole lot of time going
No.
into it. Again, it's just that you go in, do some quick play matches, go ahead and do some damage, and you will get free items, mostly based around the holiday season. So the only ones I'm really looking forward to is on the last day, which is a cockpit item, which is a golden package.
Hold on.
which
Where
I
they got
think-
the list of the things you got to do?
Oh, well, if you actually log into
Oh,
the
okay.
game,
Got to log in.
In
Okay.
game, you
log
can
in.
see future events.
I
of
haven't
course.
logged in because I've been doing Dawn of War 2, so I've been logged in for like a week. So
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so the last day is a golden package. I don't know what that one is.
it's a ticket to Wally Wally Land.
Oh my god, it's gonna be a ticket to MechCon in your box.
Yeah, it's every day you get it's 50 MC and a Christmassy cockpit item.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
That's
Or
kinda
on
cool.
on the 9th day, which is MechCon, they give you NVIDIA Dawn, which is I mean, I think it's a pretty cool cockpit item. Which if you guys out there who've seen it, it's the mascot for NVIDIA, which is like a fairy.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
Oh yeah, I
okay.
got that one.
Yep,
It
yep.
actually looks nice. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too
Are
bad.
they giving us more bagpipes?
No more
No.
bagpipes.
Oh,
Well,
I
1,000
know.
damage isn't too hard. Like, what's the second day? Like just going through
Second
like real quick.
day, what is going on right now? You're gonna get a hula elf.
And what do you got to do to get it though?
Get one solo kill, and that's it.
Oh
They're
wow.
all just like with the previous daily stuff. They've set the bar fairly low so that for the most part it's fairly easy to get. Thankfully.
Okay, that's not too bad then.
Mhm.
It's not
Yeah,
bad
So,
at
and
all.
yeah.
to answer our person in chat, reality, I'm pretty sure they'll have another event after this one. That's kind of how it goes.
Do you think they have a
Yeah,
like
they're
event during
pretty
Mech?
consistent with these events.
Yeah.
Yeah, since this is the 12 days of Advent, it ends on the 12th. 12 more days until Christmas after this one. I'm sure they will do 12 days of Xmas.
Yeah, the
or
stocking.
Christmas, or whatever.
and then
for
probably
some
another New
reason,
Year's spiel.
in my mind, when it say 12 days of Advent, I was sort of imagining, I don't know, clandestine events where you you're trying to destroy XCOM and steal alien technology.
Don't they have like a holiday for clans or something like that? I read somewhere like in the clan lore they have like some type of clan holiday for Christmas or something.
Whoa,
Oh my god.
whoa.
Yeah.
Lore?
Yeah, lore actually.
Lore? In MechWarrior?
Shut up.
Oh man.
I know it's there somewhere. I'll find it sometime. Someday I'll find the lore in MechWarrior Online.
I just see Bob on just his hands and knees just digging for the lore. He's like, I will find it one day. It is here in the ground.
It's here somewhere.
So Bob, have you found a faction planet yet that has any details?
God, shut up. There's no planet in there that has details whatsoever. Copy paste. Copy paste. Sorry to cough. Come on.
One day, I want my Life Day event. That's all I want.
Well, that's what I'm waiting for BattleTech, because like have you read like where they're actually going to have their place? I mean, BattleTech, from HBS is actually going to have all the lore around that area at that time. So that's going to be freaking crazy.
But Life Day.
What? Life Day.
Over everyone's heads. Never mind.
Life Day.
Random question, guys.
Okay.
If any of you are in the client right now, if you jump to the faction play thing, some of the planets haven't loaded. They're just squares, black squares in space.
Wait, what?
What?
That's just a little glitch I'm stuck with.
Okay.
I mean,
Did you
I
break
guess
the game again, Biter?
I don't think I have that.
Okay, just be good.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
it
jeez.
might only be you. Oh, and also Aetha for the chat there. We have Rono saying, but the real question is, when will we get more bagpipes?
I don't know.
Yeah.
You got to purchase it
Ooh.
now.
More bagpipes.
Ooh, I found a square.
When will my quad-legged bagpipes come into the game?
Quad mech lab.
Power armor, man. Power armor, baby.
Quad bagpipes. I
Quad
demand.
bagpipes.
What
Quad
it's
bagpipes slowpoke.
it's 3058 right now, right? Like in the game. Is that right?
Maybe.
Because it should have
Kinda.
power armor by now. You know, elementals
I forget
jumping
the
around.
number.
Yeah,
Good
that'd be
question.
kind.
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Before we get too far, we actually have a legit question. In
Oh,
the
cool!
chat.
Yay!
This is from I'm gonna butcher this as always. Two things that whine in. Pajorafilas. God damn it. Okay, so mostly directed at me, but
Okay.
I'm gonna just say to everyone: do you think that the problem with Battlefront loot crates will also affect companies like PGI?
Interesting
The
question,
huge-
actually.
The huge backlash against loot crates means hopefully they're not going to do something stupid.
Yeah, like I mean, with all the backlash that EA got, I would hope that PGI would be smart enough not to go down
That
the
road?
path. Yeah.
Well, what's
Well,
the?
PGI's loot crates are different. They just
Yeah.
kind of give them to you. You can just cash them out for shit.
And it's not required to actually
it's just
get
they're
something.
planning.
They give you.
They're
They give
planning
you all the
to
time.
revitalize the loot crates.
Yeah.
So that's sort of
Yes, but weren't they gonna go more towards oh my god, I'm not young and hip. What that other new game that came out that people play?
Young and hip. Taka, 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 taka,
Yes, that.
Well, I mean, there's Overwatch at least.
Overwatch, yes, that.
Yeah, Overwatch. Yeah.
Yeah, weren't they gonna make it more like Overwatch?
I don't know. Don't play that game.
Perhaps.
So.
I don't know.
Well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going from what I read, and people in our Discord were talking about it before, and they said that it might progress more towards like an Overwatch loot crate.
It might,
Yeah,
but it's
well-
not. See, the problem is though, like with the EA like loot crates. From what I read, from what I know, I could be wrong in this, so correct me if I'm wrong. Is that they, in order to get Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, you needed to spend like 4,000 hours or 40 hours or something like that in order to go and have them unlocked or something. And if
Yeah,
you get
now it's 40
Yeah,
hours each.
40 hours
you had
each.
to invest a ton of time to actually unlock the content that was already in the game.
But how many
Or
hours have you?
premium
For it.
How many
in a
hours have you
premium
guys played?
product.
How many hours have you guys played in, like, say, MechWarrior Online? I mean, I logged, I think, like reached like 1,500 hours.
I like a shit ton of this game.
Yeah, so
The difference is, at least in terms of consumer outlook and consumer rights, so to speak, would be: is the game free to play, or do you pay a premium price to get in?
now
which is the problem that
that's where
Battlefront
PGA, that's where EA fucked up at though, because it's a premium AAA title and they shouldn't actually have to pay money to get crates to unlock stuff. With a free to play game, I can understand people purchasing crates to get stuff, basically, because that's the only way that they're going to actually have any type of revenue.
The free to play model, yeah, people understand that they want to try and commoditize your time to make you, make this thing a lifestyle choice,
Yeah,
right? So that's sort
exactly.
of with MechWarrior Online. They want you to be playing, daily. That's why we have literally these daily events we just talked about, and why they're always throwing events, etc., etc. Whereas Battlefront and other premium titles, the expectation is quite different. You throw down a big wad of cash so that you can immediately jump in and enjoy a power fantasy, enjoy a multiplayer experience. But a lot of that is locked behind a wall that you have to pay or grind for, and that doesn't feel so good when you're time deprived and you just really want to just sit down and have some quick fun.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Well,
Like
that was another
MechWarrior
thing that
Online,
EA
it's.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying,
Well, that's another thing.
in the case of MechWarrior Online, the first time you sit down with it, of course, you have to go through the long tutorial, and then you don't even have a mech. You have to go through a long grind just to get your first mech. Like right from the get go, it's saying to the player, this is a game where you have to invest time if you want to get interesting stuff.
But is that
Whereas
a bad thing though, basically, as far as like using time to get something that's, I mean, super duper cool and powerful and everything?
It's a matter of how you sell things to people, right?
Yeah. Yeah, true.
If
Marketing.
it's sort of like, imagine if you pay for a luxury cruise, vacation. With those cruise liner things.
Yeah.
And they say we have a very nice stuff going on the cruise liner. Like there's a brilliant pool, but first you have to run on the treadmill for 10 hours to unlock it.
But you can pay, but you can pay $100 more to get it though.
Yeah, you either pay or you have to run on the treadmill, or you have to do some menial chores for us.
Well, obviously, I wouldn't be playing. I wouldn't go on that cruise.
Exactly. You pay to go on this cruise liner, and now they're wasting your time. Whereas, if you went up to a fisherman captain and said, "Hey, I would really like to, enjoy the fisherman experience," it's like, "Okay, we'll move some crates to start with. Maybe I think I'll take you along." So that's more reasonable.
Oh God.
You can understand if you have to, pull your weight.
Yeah. I don't know. Basically, like I think it's more rewarding actually if you actually spend some time to go and get the Darth Vader. 40 hours is not that much to go play in Battlefront 2 to get Darth Vader and Luke. Now, if a person spends on money for loot crates to get it earlier, I guess whatever, like I guess a skin or something like that, like whatever it is, I don't know what it is. He wants to spend money. That's his own thing, man. He's more rich than I am, I guess. I don't know.
I would say this,
but it's,
if we look at previous games, like the whole Call of Duty franchise, they've since Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4, they had the prestige system, right, where you slowly you don't even have the ability to customize your class at first, and you don't have all the weapons. You don't.
You got to go play for a long time.
Yeah. What's the difference with that? Well, the barrier to entry, like you're always continually unlocking stuff. They're always giving you things. They're always slowly doling out things from the present bag. You're getting that steady drip feed. The thing with the Darth Vader thing isn't necessarily, oh, I have to unlock it. It's 40 hours of dedicated gameplay for just that one gameplay feature. Whereas whereas by contrast, in Call of Duty, there's this one really cool weapon that everyone's running around with. Yeah, that's good. That's a long ways away, but along the way, you're getting so much extra stuff. Like you can do a whole bunch of extra challenges. There's so many little goals and things you can do along the way. But in Battlefront, well, you're doing 40 hours of just the same thing with no progress in anything else.
So like you think actually just having like a stock Darth Vader, and then at 5 hours you get Death Grip, and then 10 hours you get Super Jump, and then 15 hours you get Lightsaber Guy or throw a lightsaber or something like that. Do you think that'd be a better idea than actually spend 40 hours?
Well, I think at least sort of even like Overwatch or something is a nice system because you play the game and you continually get boxes, right?
Yeah.
And those boxes give you lots of bits and pieces. You might randomly get the thing you want, and you get money as well, which you can save up and then eventually buy anything, any cosmetic you want. So instead of using just credits for Darth Vader, if it was it made sense to just sort of play the game, get unlocks, and eventually you'd get enough creds to easily, buy a Darth Vader. It would make a lot more sense. But as it is, they're forcing you.
Well, the triple title too.
Yeah, the economy is so cruel and brutal to the players. It does not feel rewarding, and that's a fundamental problem with that grind. You want to make grind rewarding, and that is the big problem.
Yeah, true.
One of the things that EA did with Battlefront is that they had announced that they were going to stick certain loadouts in the loot boxes. And the only way to get those loadouts was to go through the loot boxes and get them. And a lot of people bought into the pre-orders on it with the idea that would be part of the base game itself. And when EA announced that, that's when a lot of the backlash started firing up. Because they started locking what should have been basic game material behind a paywall of in order to get this loadout, you could only get it through a loot box. So you have to just keep buying loot boxes until you get this loadout.
I do think a lot of stuff is misplaced though, as far as after reading a bunch of forums and stuff like that. looking at people. Well, this is gambling. It should be stopped. Basically, but they're putting a blanket on all loot boxes, all different things. It's like, how do you think free to play games make their money? They don't just out of the goodness of their heart make a game. Say, here you guys go. This is fun to do, type thing. They got to make money too. And I think a lot of stuff is misplaced because they want to go ahead and
it's group
ban.
politics. They're trying to attack a certain thing, and they can't do just that, so they have to lump
they
everything
blanket
that's similar into that same thing and just keep hammering it until it goes away.
Well, yeah, but the end result is a game company let's say like any free to play game like that has like boxes whatever that they use to go make stuff. They can't make money now because the blanket statement of like it's gambling for the kids. So then politicians step in. No one wins.
The gaming industry will die.
Oh yeah, but basically,
if this keeps going the way their direction is headed, all video games will come to a dead end. You'll be stuck with console games or really crappy computer games designed for 4-year-olds, and no one's gonna care anymore.
What? There's games not designed for 4-year-olds? Hold on a second. Wait a second here. Wait a second. No,
I would say this. There's obviously loads of different systems and gameplay grind and such that you can implement, and we've seen plenty of that throughout the decades. I think obviously there's more rewarding, less rewarding, more exploitative, less exploitative systems. Overall, though, it's really hard to draw the line because there's just so much variance in how you can do it. So I think there is certainly a place to say, how far can you screw over consumers? How far can you make this grind really painful? Until it's unreasonable. And consumers have a right at least to complain about that. And I think there is an argument to be made for consumer rights.
Oh, yeah.
On the flip side, however, one does have to be cautious with regulation and with throwing around terms like gambling and such too liberally. And I think that's at least something to be cautious about with this backlash, is that it's really hard to draw the lines. And in some regards, at least, I think it might be better if the industry self-regulates rather than the government trying to force it on them. Because a self-regulating industry, the thing is, at least from the industry's perspective, is you don't want to do what EA just did and push the lid too far. And you want to hold things back. And so naturally, if they realize that you shouldn't go too far, then things balance themselves out naturally. As long as the consumers, vote with their wallet and make their opinions heard, and they shout down the worst business practices, then the industry will catch on that they should not treat their consumers so poorly.
Exactly. Basically, I know if I don't like a game, guess what? I don't buy it. That's simple as that.
No,
Exactly.
guys. Now, granted, I've been here in the corner being quiet is because there's been a huge
get
awesome
in the
discussion.
corner, Larsh.
So yeah, exactly. So I didn't want to cut any of you off, but we do sadly need to end the podcast because of No Guts No Galaxies podcast happening very, very soon.
Very soon.
So with that, guys, do you have any last thoughts? Anything at all before we cut it for today?
MechWarrior 5, good. 80% good. 20% needs some criticism, and basically, that's fine. It's alpha. It's pre-alpha stage, no problem. The event, cool. I'll just do it for my alt and old Bob, awesome. And loot boxes, good and bad. Just don't blanket, blanket statement like all loot boxes are bad because companies have to make some type of money for free to play games. AAA titles, no, they got their own thing going on. Okay, that's it.
Cool.
Otherwise, anyone have any real thoughts about the MechCon? I think obviously No Guts No Galaxy are going to be able to cover this a lot better than us since well, I don't have much interest in it personally.
They got the inside
scoop way across the pond.
Yes. They have sponsorship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, we are sponsored. We're sponsored by our own freaking computer screens. That's what we're sponsored by. And you, the community, thank you so much. We're sponsored by you as well too. Thank you very much, everyone.
And always on Fridays, my Discord is doing a theme night tonight. So in about, I want to say 40 minutes at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do about an hour of private lobby shenanigans. We're doing any weapons no HUD. So there's no radar, no HUD. It's just us just to goof around for about an hour. Then afterwards, after that's done, you guys may have seen me in the mech lab. I'm making a flamer build because we're all bringing flamers. Every
Well,
one of
hold on.
us.
Everyone has to have at least one flamer. We're not just all flamer
Yes.
mechs.
Well,
Although that
yes.
would be funny. That'd be funny.
Well,
That'd
yes,
be
but
funny.
the mechs
If
are
you don't bring
bringing.
a flamer, then you have to be really obnoxious in chat.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So everyone's bringing at least one flamer mech of some sort into battle tonight after the no HUD private lobby shenanigans. So please tune in. That'll be later on. I don't know how long the
Do you
no
want
guts
people
and
to join
galaxy
your?
thing is, but whatever. Yeah.
And do you want people to join your Discord too? Might want to put your Discord thing out.
Oh yeah, well my Discord it's on the YouTube homepage and it's also on my Twitch homepage. You'll see it. Click it and you'll get in.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember, if you join, you will get abused.
There's always the new person initiation where you hop in. I put all caps new person, and then it goes from there.
And we get the flame, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
now-
But I do like. I mean, I do like turning people into cookies.
oh
Yes,
yeah,
well-
cookies.
Well, now we have the return of Tea Tree, so he's made a huge comeback.
Oh,
So
boy.
there is that. And Dragon, will I rate your shitty mech build in the Discord? Well, yes, we have a channel in my Discord for mech builds alone. So post it in there. Myself, Biter, Old Bob, we will all rate your.
It's wonderful.
shitty
I
mech
love
build.
it.
You'll be guaranteed that I'll probably rib on it.
Anyways, okay, we got to get to
Oh.
No Guts, No Galaxy, and
Oh,
anything else? Sorry,
Shit.
go ahead.
Wait, sorry. There's also one other question. How would go the polls on the theme mech for the okay, for the 16's 2-hour stream? Okay. I think what you're asking. I have not posted an update to my my contest yet. I think the winner was the Boba Fett was the theme for this month. I recently rebuilt my computer. I was going to post an update last night, but didn't get a chance to. I'll be putting an update soon for people to give me Boba Fett builds for me to use all month, so I can pick a winner at the end of the month.
Cool.
Then on the 16th, or more or less beginning on the 15th at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am doing a 24-hour live stream of MechWarrior Online that will benefit the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation because, well, I have Crohn's, I have an ostomy. So to help you guys keep me alive, to keep playing games, we're doing a charity stream to help people with this condition. Because it is a literal pain in the ass.
You just gave me a new meme. Keep Larsh alive.
Thanks, Bob. So yeah. So okay, great. Anyway, guys, if you are watching and you see my update video, I'll be putting up a new video, hopefully tomorrow, on the winner of the theme. All entries will be taken through my email account, not through YouTube.
Okay. Cool deal. Thank you, everyone, for watching podcast number 17. After this is No Guts and Galaxy. Check them out as well, too. Check out everyone's different channels. Aether, Larsh, Biter, and me, Old Bob. Thank you. And anyone else want to say something else? Or gone? Okay, we're done. I got you.
Remember, in a month and a half, something very important happens. The piranha drops, and then all
hell's going to break loose.
Because it's going to be retarded.
12 machine gun retards. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the battlefield.
Woo! Okay, we're done.
Waka, waka.